Why is it looking it up? Help.
Think about next week we can have it at our place if everything's good.
There. Okay.
I mean, it's depending on what day those people come to like do the bathtub. That might make the house is full of fumes.
Yeah.
But.
All right.
Come watch us play D&D high on fumes.
Yeah.
Or really, really
Can
cold,
only
'cause
make
all
it
the
more
windows are-
fun.
All right. Okay. So we got 2 video sources now, and
Production quality.
production value has just risen by about how much does a GoPro cost? $500.
So it really probably decreased though. How much did you
Admittedly, we did not purchase the GoPro for this.
No, but it was basically. I think everyone always knew that that's what the GoPro was going to end up doing. Anyway.
Oh, we have to put your hat on.
Are we being featured by Portillo's this week?
I think we are.
Sponsored by Portillo's. A Midwestern delicacy, from what I understand.
Yes.
Having never been north of the Mason-Dixon myself. A joke. I have been further north than that, but. Jonathan, do you want us to start?
Yeah, we can go ahead and start.
Okay.
Or how long is it on the food?
Yeah, I don't want
We've
to.
got, well, like 8 minutes on the fries-ish, depending on how they're cooking.
Well, mine's.
The meat and the sandwiches, we just need to toast the bread. Actually, if you want to
Yeah,
get the
let's
rolls
let's
out.
just wait and let's eat first.
Eat first and
Well,
then game.
Because it doesn't
We
make
can
sense.
eat and recap.
We can eat and recap.
Don't look
We
at me.
decided that
Don't
you
look at
lost
me.
the rule.
No, I did not.
You did
I have the worst memories.
Yes. We'll start with
About
those.
what happened.
I've also got all
Stephanie
the other
Molly
breads
was
out for
Oh.
last week, so people can use rolls if they want or whatever.
Are we rolling for?
No, Will and
No.
Ed decided that
For last week.
Brad's lost.
Brad
We didn't
lost.
roll for week. High or low, Will?
You've lost
Odds
5
are
in a
you.
row. What did you do?
Highest
No.
odds.
Will cheated last week. Like,
Highest
I'm
odds.
gonna roll for Jonathan. Oh, it's a 1. Oh,
Odd.
never mind.
Odds.
He wanted to roll! So it's
Because he
odds.
got a 1.
So it's whoever gets highest is doing the recap.
11.
What'd you get?
I don't know.
Jonathan, do you want a D20?
Yeah.
He can roll
Your
first.
hands
I
are-
straight up don't remember what happened last week, so someone needs to roll.
Stick it in your teeth and roll it.
You ate a fairy.
I got
3. Okay.
Oh my
He
god.
got a 3. What'd you get, Brad?
So I gotta get lower than 11?
You got a, yep.
You gotta, yeah.
Everybody's rolling crappy today.
Yeah!
Oh, Stephanie, you're the recapper.
No, I'm
Sarah.
trying.
I'd like to use
Yeah, I know. You got the highest number.
I would like to use
You got the
some
highest
bread.
number.
Oh, what'd you get?
She's
11.
using her inspiration.
Oh,
I
okay.
straight up don't remember what happened last week, so that's a 6.
All right, Stephanie.
Use inspiration for
I don't remember what happened.
You did purchase a lot of things, Stephanie.
I feel like I mean,
Stephanie
I
was
felt like I was
shopping.
really
Yes.
invested. Like,
The rest of everybody else was
Whoa, wait a
investigating.
I
second.
had a good time last
Wait, does
week. I just
inspiration
don't
make you
remember.
reroll or does it add reroll?
It makes you.
Advantage.
It's technically what you're supposed to do when you use inspiration is you say I want to use my inspiration before you roll, and then you get to use it and you get advantage on the
That's
roll.
not, I don't, is it really before? Or I thought it was you could do that.
It's technically
After
before.
you see the number, but before you know the results of your check.
I thought it was.
Bardic, you just add. You roll
Bardic
a
you can
D6.
do any time.
Oh, this is the one that sticks.
Oh, it's so stupid.
Oh.
Yeah.
This-
I thought
was
you
trying
had to do
look like that.
before.
This is getting a lot of water.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so annoying.
It is. It is.
Why don't you use this one?
Okay.
The
Because
paper
mine
ones
isn't cold.
do it too, but at least they
At
don't.
least it won't like
clank.
clank down. Yeah.
Do you have or want another pack of bread?
Okay. We. Dang it! I don't remember.
Yeah, you know how hard that is? Yeah.
Well,
Now you know how I feel.
I was counting on you doing it.
If you think that's good, we're fine.
I think that. Plus
We
the
were
other
at. We went back to the tower
Oh yeah, that's.
and we
good.
waited for the
Now.
representatives from several of the churches to come and talk to us about the artifacts and to divulge any information that they would want to tell us.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Oh yeah, we made a chart.
yeah.
An org chart. Not quite.
I don't remember who all came, but there were like 4 of them.
Wyatt.
This one,
Xerxes.
Wyatt, Xerxes, and Adam the Virgin. It was a bird.
Wait, wasn't there a 4th one?
No, Jerusha.
Jerusha and Tolan are in the first flame.
Okay. Yep.
And Yizzik, I guess, is also a representative now.
Oh, you can transfer inspiration around. I didn't know that.
Oh, you could give it to someone?
If you have inspiration, you can give that to someone else. You can like give it to them. But you expend it when you are going to make an attack roll or saving throw or ability check, and you spend your inspiration to get advantage on the
What
roll.
about
So it's
D100?
before you roll.
So would this be a
Do
this is
100
not
roll?
a valid use of inspiration, but I think it's worth it.
No, I don't really
No, it's
care. It's not gonna. It doesn't really make a difference to me whether or not you know what the roll is. I think that it adds to the narrative, so it can be a house rule that you can use it after you roll. That's fine. I don't care.
Choices that have nothing to do with combat or the campaign.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't like make the difference between like, I don't know, like a total part. Well, I don't know. If it makes the difference between a total party kill or not, maybe that is a good time to use it. I don't know. We can take it on a case by case basis. I'm not opposed to that.
You can't use it if you find out you're pregnant.
That's true.
Can't take that back.
I didn't have it anyway. I'd already spent it.
But yeah, so
My inspiration I got for chopping off heads.
anyway, Stephanie, so what were we doing? Remind us.
Yeah, we were talking to a bunch of representatives from the churches.
Mm-hmm.
Bird
And-
dude.
Yes, and Leonora knew Bird Dude. His name is Adam.
Mm-hmm. There's actually.
But nobody can say his name, so his human name is Adam.
I'm pretty sure Kimber could.
No,
I'm
no,
pretty
she
sure I
could,
got
but
close.
Kimber thinks she could.
Mm-hmm.
I think we agreed that you have to be able to have lungs to speak Orin properly.
There was that, but I'm still gonna call him.
My voice cracked.
It was bad last time. It's gotten worse.
Yep.
No, it sounded just like it last time, but this time, yeah, my voice broke. Really in a good way.
They
You
told
have too much fun at 50-50. This is what happens when you have fun at 50-50.
Sitting quietly.
Yeah, when you enjoy it, then you like lose your ability to. Cause you can't play D&D properly anymore.
No, because I wasn't thinking about D&D, I was thinking about diamond colors.
Exactly. Real
Um,
shame.
so the priests told us about the 3 stolen artifacts that were stolen on the same day, different thieves in different circumstances.
Oh, we learned about the library.
How up?
That was important.
Yeah.
That was before.
We learned about the library.
Mm-hmm.
What
Oh,
were we
yeah.
gonna do with the library? We're
We-
looking at maps?
We learned
The
about
map to
their
the casino is in the
The
library.
interdimensional.
But you weren't allowed to have it because you guys were openly talking about robbing said casino in
That's
front of the
okay,
library.
We're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying.
And so
We just have to send Jerusha.
we're doing a library heist to get to the casino heist.
Are you a changeling and you
Speaking
can just
of
become someone
books,
else? And
I
then-
can't.
Leonora
As soon
sent
as you-
for
as
a
soon as you
selection
know, I
Of books that will be educational for Kimber.
Yeah.
We will send you to.
So Kimber has a stack of books to read now.
I've been collecting
Um,
uniforms and clothing.
Yeah, so we learned what the
to
artifacts did.
infiltrate.
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you reading now? You took one.
Oh shoot.
Oh,
I
it
don't
was
remember what the
the
gauntlet does,
scythe
but it's
or
supposed to be the
the-
most dangerous.
The what?
The
The
gauntlet.
weapon, the curved weapon.
Yes.
Oh.
The
this-
amulet.
Yes, scimitar.
Scimitar.
Oh,
It
yeah.
gives you improved life
Something
and
scimitar.
immunity to poison.
Mm-hmm.
And the dagger severs curses, but it looks like a trowel.
Mm-hmm. A repurposed trowel.
Yes.
The gauntlet increases your strength and gives you radiant damage with anytime you hit someone with a weapon or unarmed strike. And does other things with shield, but we don't talk about that. No one told you exactly what that does. Anyway, so that was the first 2 hours.
Yeah, and then we
It really did take a long time.
decided to. It was really just 2 parts, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You guys
So then
literally like took 3 steps into the thing.
we headed for the lower part of the, like, we headed for the Undercity.
Mm-hmm.
So we made it to the, like, outskirts of it, like the entrance
Right.
of it. And there was a
Burrowton.
artisans market or something where some people
8 fairies.
ate fairies.
Pretty good.
Some
That's a local
people,
delicacy.
some
Better with
people
hot sauce.
tried to.
They're sweet, spicy, and crunchy.
Some people fell for some distressed fairies. Some people had cotton candy, which was very delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Other people bought clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Which nobody knows
Somebody
about.
got gypped and bought very expensive stationery.
Somebody.
And now we're all done shopping.
Someone sang a song.
That's true.
Oh wait, who sang a song?
The bar.
The bard. Who
Oh,
told you what happened?
Someone had to rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're sponsored by Wheat Thins, actually.
Oh, are we?
Last week or this week? Oh, we're not sponsored.
And
by
Walmart
Tim's.
artichoke dip.
It's not bad.
That's good. I'm just saying we're sponsored by it.
We are.
Even
Sponsored.
the
Sponsored
the
by
rainbow
Walmart
markers are
artichoke
in there.
dip. It's not bad.
It's just okay.
Rainbow mark.
And rainbow markers. Sponsored by gay people. Literally.
I mean, not bad is better than bad, I guess.
Not bad is better than bad. I mean, statement of the day. That describes my life perfectly.
Oh, and she's reading his Scimitar of Sensuality.
Oh.
Yeah, that is what it was called. Okay.
Who's the publisher that like publishes all the really shitty romance novels?
Harlequin.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
there's
he's
Harlequin, there's
Harley
Avon.
Quinn?
I feel like you're personally sponsored by Harlequin novels.
I am now. Yeah.
The Harlequin novel.
Yeah.
If they're historical, they might be Avon.
His Scimitar of Sensuality is apparently the first in series.
Oh.
Oh.
The next one is his Longsword of Love,
Stop it, Jonathan.
followed by his Tao of Desire.
Oh, the Blades of Lust trilogy.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Kimber
Like,
is
you can write
absolutely
it.
into it. I'm going
She's
to start.
absolutely into it.
Kimber's gonna. She's gonna work on the 4th book in the series, I think.
I feel like you sent for those from
Fanfiction.
Oh So Fast, like
Good.
in secret, because Leonora gave you like
Where did
body
I
parts
But
101.
It's all gonna be like super weird.
Yeah.
Like a robot trying to write an unofficial porn sequel to a series of romance novels.
Yep. Well. What? Who's that? Oh.
Yeah, I feel like Leonora got him like
What is
the
that?
birds and the bees
Kappa.
and your body is
I don't know
gonna
what that
change, and he's like,
I don't know anything about
novels.
Twitch.
You should.
Probably a really basic, maybe a really basic like romance
We'll lose
novel.
viewers.
It's like-
yeah, like I
Not
found
a
the
zero.
romance
There goes-
novel
there goes our
under-
viewer.
behind the other books, and then I got him some like children's books about like love and
Maybe like a
Admittedly,
maybe
Stephanie, I don't think you told us specifically what books they were.
Maybe
I'm
it's
telling
maybe
you
like
now.
A teenager, like
Alright.
a young adult romance novel.
Yeah, maybe.
situation, Like
like what was it? What's the
Twilight.
the kid was dying of cancer.
Oh, Fault in Our Stars.
yeah,
Both of them are
and
cancer.
falling snow, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think
Who's that?
No,
yeah.
the
I think-
So they sent you 40 pieces of bread?
No, it's like
It's enough to make 40 sandwiches, but they only sent like
it's like
12.
okay. No, it's like
16.
16 rolls.
Okay, so you
So
So
cut
it's
the roll
enough
in
to make
half.
16 sandwiches.
So, well, no, so I don't know how they do that, but we've got the other breads and stuff too from last week. They were in the fridge.
I
so
forgot
it's
about the time that we wanted 40 sandwiches for 7 people.
It smells good.
Oh, do you remember that time we did Subway and
The giant
Jonathan
sub?
bought
That was
The
last year.
party stuff?
That was
Right? That was last
Yeah.
year.
That
And we
was,
ate it all? Didn't we eat it all?
No, it wasn't on your birthday. It was on.
Because we had Portillo
No,
last
it was
year.
on St. Patrick's Day because we had green beer and I used green dice and then I got pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was the day.
Mhm.
She didn't actually get
That's
pregnant.
why you don't drink green beer.
She didn't actually get pregnant.
I mean,
We
yes.
think, probably. We're like 90%.
I'm pretty sure we'd know by now.
I don't know. Sometimes they take a while.
That's true for elves.
Elves?
Sometimes they just want to stay in there. I've heard that when the baby really doesn't want to come out, it just like.
In which
There was
case
an
you
entire Dr. Phil episode about that. It was a lot. It was about these women who were like convinced that they were pregnant, but were like having weird, like delayed pregnancies. So one woman was like, "I've been pregnant with 6 babies for 10 years."
What?
Yeah.
Do what?
Yeah.
So
Wild.
Is that different or the same as like? So is that a hysterical pregnancy or are they just secretly like snakes?
It sounds pretty hysterical to me.
I think so. Like. Yeah, it was very odd. I need to Google this now.
It's like that quote from Arrested Development where it's like, your mother was in labor with Buster for 5 months. There were claw marks on the inside of her uterus.
Yeah.
Her postpartum depression was that bad. Like she like couldn't. She like refused to have him.
Oh, cryptic pregnancy, they say it is. Yeah.
Is that like when
the
I-
title of the episode, season
I
17,
didn't know I was
episode
pregnant.
38, is A Woman Claims to Be Pregnant for 3 years, 7 months.
Oh.
Oh,
That was a lot.
it is a lot.
Our tower just changed shape to
and now we're in the red tower.
Oh lord. It looks like a penis from far away. That wizard had a lovely tower. Am I right or am I right? You.
I found
If you
it.
irradiate and then anneal brown diamonds, they turn red. This is what the talk was about today. It was all about colors.
I really wish that I had gone now. I'm like, this is the first time I've ever heard Sarah say something positive about a 50-50, and like, I feel like I genuinely missed out on an opportunity.
Rebecca really liked it too, and neither of us really care about
No.
any of this stuff. So
It's basically boring. Anyway, okay, so you guys,
I will willingly watch this episode with Lou.
It's a lot.
you guys are inside of Burrowton, which is the, as Stephanie mentioned, the little suburb where like a lot of the gnomes and halflings live. Burrowton. Just like Hobbiton is what I was thinking of. What were
Which
you saying?
sounds like it would be.
Sounds like a city in Nebraska.
Oh. It might be. I mean, Khartoum is a real place that I just managed to pull out of my butt, so like, not having any knowledge that it actually existed.
Cricket Talk was a Pokemon.
No, that's Cricketot. And that's very different from Cricketack. With the
You
CH.
should show Sarah that. She'll
The
enjoy it.
tonic? Yeah.
What?
Oh, that meme.
Yeah.
I thought you may enjoy this.
It was funny. Too many people care about TikTok.
I don't know. You can read.
Right.
I like the idea of it.
I do too.
I don't know that they executed it quite right. Like,
No, but there's along those lines.
Italic? I taught paleontology
Yeah, Brad. Come on.
and urban life history. I have TA
Will
for
they
both
know
of
about
them.
moles?
What kind of moles? The type on your skin?
No. He was like, why are you calculating moles? Like this kind of mole? It was like,
Wow, you tell this story different. I've heard Brad tell this story twice now, and you tell it very differently.
is that or is that not what happened?
No.
Yes, it is. What are you talking about? What do you mean
What
no?
type of...
He just uses a different voice when he tells the story.
I use my voice?
I hope that was on the
I'm
camera.
gonna make you guys fight a mind flayer just for that.
We're gonna fight a giant
Mole.
star-nosed mole.
True.
Yeah, actually, I do have a monster that is that. In fact.
Warren's gonna swoop in and
Was the naked mole rat from Bill Nye?
Yeah.
Kim Possible. What?
There's a song.
Oh. Oh.
It's not actually a song.
I
It's just
saved
like
this picture as a reference.
Naked mole rat.
and then there's do thing.
Naked
It's
mole
on Bill Nye.
rat.
If you look at Bill Nye,
I love it.
it comes up.
Such a grumpy kid.
Do it.
This is what grumpy kid looks like.
Sponsored by Bill Nye.
We have a lot of sponsors this
Grumpy
week.
Cat died. It's very sad.
Oh.
Grumpy
No.
kid.
I don't know what that is.
He's an owl. She's an owl.
Oh.
She's an owl. Grumpy kid.
What is that?
It's grumpy kid.
Oh. Why is it laying down?
Because she's grumpy.
That's how I
My-
feel today.
My fighter character that I made for Jonathan's campaign has a faraway owl companion. And her name is Kit. And sometimes she gets grumpy.
So we ended like right after the bard told you guys about the lady, right?
We were like ready to descend further.
Okay. So you guys were like headed down the lane to the second layer of Burrowton.
Yes.
Burrowton.
Burrowton. Burrowton. I know you were drunk last time, Stephanie, so it's a joke.
As I always.
We like to give her a hard time because her alcoholism is rampant.
Wait, T-O-W-N?
Yeah, it's like literally burrow. T-O. Burrowton.
Oh, T-O-N.
Yeah.
It was W-N.
Burrowton. Not, oh no, sorry, not Burrowtown.
Because some people will like spell it Burrow Town and say Burrow.
No, that's some Northeast shit. We don't play those games here. This is Texas. I need to stop giving away our location.
Everyone already knows. The only person who's not us who's ever watched this is Caleb.
That's
Well,
true.
so knows where we are.
That's
Text
true.
Lauren.
Yeah, tell Lauren that we're streaming.
She also knows who we are
That's
and where
true.
we are.
That's true.
She might not know who we
She's
are.
probably busy on Friday night. I hope to
No,
God.
remember she says she's
Oh, she was
gonna be
bored.
alone.
You're right. You are so right.
Valentine's?
Valentine's Day. Yeah, I think she said that her boyfriend was busy or something.
Isn't he from out of town?
Oh yeah, I think so.
It's Burrowton.
Let's see.
That's the juice.
Why are you being so mean to me, Brad? All I've ever done is make fun of you incessantly. And I don't understand why I deserve like ire for that.
Are we leveling up today?
If you guys kill the final boss of this level, then yeah. I doubt it. I don't know. You might. It depends on a few things.
Is it session 6?
If everybody spends their inspiration today and spends it well, then you guys can level up. But I'm the final arbiter about what counts as well.
It's hers?
Yeah, absolutely. That was awesome.
I shall speak 5 times as loud the entire session.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to change Chris's thing since that's a thing now, and I didn't tell him that
Oh
it was
yeah, I thought that was cool.
I didn't look at
a thing. Right? It makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. It makes a lot of sense. You didn't look at it? It's basically so like there's like
We've
a
seen it before.
yeah. I was figuring that it was probably something that you had looked at. It was like the guy's very fond of like pointing out that he's like the highest voted post like on our Arcana on Reddit like ever or something. Which is it seems like a lot, but it is actually a very well written document. It's basically like how
That
like
makes
the
sense, too.
yeah, and it does. It's like non-damaging cantrips should level up in the same way that like damaging ones
Oh,
do.
okay.
So like it basically takes like the 21 non-damaging cantrips that are in the player's handbook and is like
And Xanathars.
oh, it's in Xanathar's too?
Yeah, because
Okay.
Shape Water's in there.
Oh, you're right. And basically it's just like oh, it does have the earth ones because Gust is in Xanathar's too.
Yeah, it is all the Xanathars.
Like how to do it up. And if you guys
Yeah,
like I said,
see it now.
if you guys have any like what's the phrase? Like homebrewed cantrips or whatever. I don't know what all you have, Stephanie, mostly, so this is mostly for you and for Chris. We can figure out a way to well, he's got one that actually I made a thing. He hasn't used it yet. I really want him to. It literally just makes people have nosebleeds. It's so dumb, but it sounds
Can he use
hilarious.
the blood from the nosebleeds?
What?
Can he use the blood from it to do something?
I would imagine
Can
so.
he give himself a nosebleed instead of cutting himself?
No, it's like the blood sorcerer stuff is like a ceremonial thing. He has to use like his arcane focus
But
is the dagger.
Kimber light can't bleed.
That's true, so it wouldn't work. I mean, it only works on things that have blood, but like it's basically like the whole thing is that like you like concentrate really hard on someone and give them like a really really dramatic nosebleed, and they can't like be charismatic. It like gives them a penalty on like charisma and wisdom saves because their like nose is gushing blood or something. It's horrible. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, I have control flames and message.
Okay.
That would fall under this.
Message gets good, and you guys, you're about to level up again, and then you'll take the second improvement too, which is
300 feet.
Which means what?
You can cast it without having to wiggle your arms.
yeah.
I mean,
So that's actually pretty good.
that's
It means
flavor.
you
right?
can well, no, you can
No,
cast it bound or
And a
restrained.
lot of people
I
do
mean-
play with the verbal somatic stuff like a little bit more intensely than we do.
Yeah.
Or like material components too. Some people
Yeah.
actually track that stuff.
The only thing I'm tracking is like the ones that have like material costs associated with them. But I've given you a discretionary fund to cover such things. As long as you're not casting clone every time.
Yeah.
I cannot believe if she actually watches it, I will die. Lauren was like, I'm gonna watch it.
She must be really bored.
Tell her we're about to eat, so don't do it yet.
Don't log in yet.
Oh yeah.
Unless she wants to hear us talk, which is, I mean, I don't blame her. I love hearing myself talk, personally. Actually, that's not true. I
Yeah,
dread
I'm
having to listen to
I'm
it.
never going to listen to these streams just because I hate the way my voice sounds.
If it makes you feel any better, Sarah, I can barely hear you.
Which is awesome.
I'm just kidding. I can hear everybody okay.
We all sound weird though. So normally I think just I sound weird and everyone else sounds normal.
No, it's
But
everybody.
we all sound weird on
It's because this room is echoey and like the small microphones. We have 2 microphones now
Great.
because we have 2 cameras. Again, our production value is just going to keep jumping. Oh.
This increases the production value
Yeah,
or
we're
just the
gonna-
production. 'Cause we're not adding. It's not adding. Like.
We got food.
Food.
Wait, we need to explain what dinner is this week.
Mongolian beef.
It's not Mongolian beef, Brad.
Portillo's Italian beef, straight from Mongolia.
See?
Portillo Mongolian beef. Yeah, Chicago.
Yeah. I
Chicago.
was listening to it, to all of them again, and I was like, oh wow, we say some genuinely horrible things. I feel like,
Edit.
yeah, right.
Yeah, this is why we
If I had time, I would actually start editing them, but that sounds like a lot of work, so no, I'm not going to. I'm leaving them in all their unedited glory. All 5 hours of them.
We just have to know when we start.
Oh no, there's like 14 hours of it so far.
We just gotta know when we start and then just say, then write down the time that we need the edits.
Oh, to edit out sound? Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. I thought about doing that. Yeah.
My sheet just says Quimby.
Just by
Just
itself.
like alone on the bottom of the
Quimby.
page.
I love it when my
The
sheets.
sexual lizard lady.
I love it when my sheets say things that mean nothing to me. But
I think I need to get some more ice.
this one actually doesn't say anything that's that crazy.
Oh, I have actual relevant notes.
No.
That's nice.
Like what?
Wait, what is this picture of?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, I have a cryptic image that I don't know what is.
Decipher it.
One of you tell me
Oh.
what I was trying to write or draw about.
Maybe draw a beholder?
No, it wasn't a beholder.
It's a bunch of concentric circles and the word planes, And then there's like something that looks kind of like two
Oh, like
rivers
a-
converging on a bunch of marbles, and then I
Or
think
like a coastline.
Coastline.
And a river.
What is that?
it looks like it doesn't.
Dead fairies.
It's bread. It's fairy bread.
Dead fours.
Force.
I don't know. Sometimes I forget to include letters when I write.
Maybe that's talking about like a top-down piece or something.
Brad, don't chug the triple sec. Oh my god. Brad, stop. Don't do that.
A top down view.
I can do what I want.
I'm an adult man.
Will, does this geography mean anything to you? If it's geography.
We're not sure that it's geography, but it might be.
It clearly had enough meaning that I wrote it down.
Dead.
Unless it's something I was thinking about when I was making.
Dead forest. Oh, maybe it's
Oh! Is it a map of like my pinnacles of where the desert, what the desert
I
was?
think so.
Oh.
Yeah, because you said that
That
it was
makes
like, because I showed you on the map.
Okay, so this would be like the city, and then here are the plains, and
Yeah.
I spelled plains wrong, and then this is the pinnacles where, and
Yeah.
this is the dwarf trail.
Yeah.
It is a map.
Dwarf trail. Okay.
Yeah, this should.
You should
Dead
annotate
fairies.
it.
Dead fairies.
And this is yeah, like this is the edge of the desert, and these are like the yeah, and this is like where the dwarves live, and this is like where the dragon folk live on this
If you
edge,
guys
and then this is
want
like the
to,
secret trading route that the dwarves use. Okay.
Excuse me, Bradley.
It clearly meant something.
What? All strawberries. Jonathan Watson.
I did not. I did not.
You have strawberries.
Do what? The strawberries were supposed to go on the pavlova that didn't work well.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're not chocolate covered.
Oh.
I know your mind.
I'm gonna put the Hawaii.
Does that go on this? Is that wait? Is that the
I just
Hawaii,
brought
or
it
is
because
that
I like
Swiss?
cheese on mine. It's Hawaii.
You like Hawaii cheese?
I don't know.
Does it
You
taste
can have a
good?
piece.
Yeah, Lindsay, we had a good
It's like really light.
guys'
You
night
can
trivia
try this.
last night. It was fun.
I heard that Jonathan
I
couldn't
know.
remember who Patrick Stewart was.
I
Yes.
did to that, but I did remember it.
Yes. It wasn't
But you
Patrick
didn't-
Swayze though.
You had to remember
There
it.
was no Patrick Swayze.
I
You
was
didn't
disappointed.
just know it, and that's the problem.
I had to remember.
25 virgins in Adam.
Yeah.
Gauntlet. 25 virgins.
The Phoenix number is incorrect.
I thought it was
Infinite?
7.
Infinite? No, you're like that far away from the top, I think was the idea.
Here it
Wait,
is.
is there?
It's
is there
too
a way to
strong,
make
you
it
can't
up?
have a number.
Oh lord.
It's actually open.
What are gonna happen?
That might be a little too much.
Oh, the red she got is over there.
Do you want some?
Mm-mm. I was just
I
letting
thought
you
the
know.
barbecue sauce was good. I was only gonna buy one, but then they were on sale for buy one get one free.
Oh, is it good thing?
I thought so too. Happy birthday, Jonathan.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
It's so nice that you
Happy
share-
66th birthday,
It's
the
really
year of
nice
our
that you
Lord,
share your tasty
the
things.
Antichrist.
He's only 39.
Thank you, Brad.
Wait, really?
40.
Wait, really? How does that make you feel?
Well, wait, 39 just sounded old in the moment. So it's more like, wait, really?
You're
Like,
only
wow,
as
that's
old
really
as you
old.
feel.
How
And
old
Jonathan
do
is
you
like,
feel?
I wake up in the morning and my
20.
back hurts.
You feel 20?
Yeah.
I don't feel 20.
I
I'm
wake up in the
30.
morning and my back
I've
hurts,
never
but that's
I've
fine.
never left college.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
fine.
I'm the only one who really has it in this room.
That's fair.
I took
How
2
dare
years.
you?
I took 2 years off.
How dare you?
You're the oldest person
Just
here,
saying.
Brad.
I took 2 years
I'm the
off
one
and I
who
had a
really
real
loves
job for a
college.
little bit. So did I.
So did Stephanie, but I'm not convinced.
I'm pretty sure though, Stephanie, like that you're gonna move with wherever Lindsay goes. So I predict you're going to drop out of Baylor and move to somewhere else.
She'll be like, can't catch me.
I'm
I'll be
pretty
a take me
sure
with
Joe
you.
would fight me.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Wait, do you have nap?
Oh, there's paper towels there. Yeah.
They're kind of messy.
Yeah. Sponsored by whatever brand of paper towels they are.
H-E-B.
RTB. Yep.
No, we already had one sponsored. What the?
Connor.
Oh. How did that
What
happen?
did you do?
I was
Double
like, Sarah,
plated.
your sandwich looks totally normal. And
I
then,
think what might have happened is I set this plate down on top of the big plate.
Oh,
pile,
because it was there.
but
Yeah.
I feel like this should be filled with ahu.
Oh. Have a moat.
And you can
yeah.
dip around. Dip in the moat.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that must have been what happened. But and I just grabbed the
I was
lowest
like, man,
plate.
just grab that. No, it works.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
that's horrible.
It's French.
I actually meant more the way you were saying it.
It's French.
Whose juice? Do they want it?
Oh, yes, that'd be me. Thank you.
Is Jonathan also drinking triple sec now?
No, just the coconut rum with orange juice.
Don't you have? There's a whole thing of vodka in the freezer.
There is.
I told Brad
saw
that.
that.
He was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm fine
I
with
saw
triple
that
sec."
and I'm like, it has an
I
orange
mean-
on it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Triple sec.
But that has an orange on it. It will go perfectly with orange juice.
Makes sense.
That is logical.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I have a lot of questions. A few
That's
concerns.
why I have Ike pick my drinks.
But
Ike
Ike
is
Ike
good
has
about
very
that.
good judgment, though. Admittedly.
We went on Tuesday,
Yeah.
and he gave us a little sample of like the original brimstone before they de-smoked it.
Yeah. It was so crazy.
It was the best thing I've ever tasted.
It was incredible.
It tasted like a tree that was on fire in the middle of Texas in the summer.
That sounds like a lot.
It was fabulous.
Are the peppers spicy?
No, they're sweet peppers.
Are they pepper? Do they have a pepper texture?
They're good. They're kind of like
Well,
if
do
you
they-
imagine
By the
some-
time, especially if you have juice on there, I would say that by the time you get the squishy bread and the meat, you will not be able to distinguish the pepper.
So
I
much.
don't know. They
Texture.
feel waxy.
they're slimy but satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of like an okra-y, once it's cooked kind of thing, than like.
Okay, fine. Okay. Everybody relax. Stop yelling at me.
I do think they should have sent you some spicy jardinera though.
And that's what I was looking for because they usually
I feel like last
they
time
do,
they did.
and they
If you
have.
put some sparkling water in there, Brad, it's a citrus delight.
I'm just not sure what
Oh
happened
God. That is not what it's called.
Yeah,
Really?
triple sec, orange
that's what I
juice,
always
and
put on the
seltzer.
jardinera.
Citrus delight.
What about a
Disgusting.
titty?
I thought you were gonna say if you add sparkling water to your peppers, they will become
to.
jardinera.
Like that's not
No.
right.
Something's
I don't
wrong.
think you're correct.
Ooh, that sounds good. I'm just getting a bowl of Ernest Hemingway barbecue sauce, sponsored by Ernest Hemingway. The barbecue sauce, not the author.
We're getting too many sponsors.
No, we're not, Brad. We want to be monetized.
We're gonna
We
be like
just
those
need-
NASCAR racers with like all the patches.
What if one day we could stop doing anything else and just play D&D all the time?
I mean,
No, it's a long road ahead of us.
Hey, don't.
it depends.
Give up
How's
now.
the insurance if we do that?
Yeah.
We have enough sets of dice to play each day.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Live different times of life.
Yeah.
So we can play and eat at the same time if you want.
Mhm.
It's up to you.
We can also just reintroduce characters.
Oh, good idea! I can edit that part out. Yeah. Well, Chris isn't here. Yeah. It'll be fine. I can do his.
Or we can wait till next week to do it.
Yeah.
That's true too.
Huh?
We can
Wait
wait
and do
till
it till next week.
Yeah.
I feel like if we're uploading them to YouTube, we should do it. Personally, but I don't really care.
Next week.
I
might
mean,
be
there could
better.
be a YouTube trial run to see
Yeah.
what the video quality looks like.
That's true.
And possibly cut out the explanation for all of our characters and put that ahead of everything on the YouTube channel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Is that?
Make it its
if we did it tonight, I would just cut it out. I could just
Mhm.
go in and like cut out that video and then upload that as a separate video.
Mm-hmm.
But if we
Yeah.
want to wait
If
till
we're
Chris
gonna
is
do that, we
around,
should just wait till Chris is
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can do that. We'll wait till Chris.
I just don't like
Snake bank.
Snake
because
Bank.
we're uploading like we've uploaded episodes 3, 4, and 5 to our YouTube channel, but not 1 and 2 because we lost that footage. So if anybody watches it, they have no idea what's going on unless they're one of us.
Well, let's change the numbers to 2, 3.
They
Yeah.
are one. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We had
How many-
2 views on a video today.
How many were you?
1. I don't know who the other one was. It won't tell me.
Well, they're me.
I kept trying to figure it out.
No.
I don't know who it was.
Who is watching us? Get a life.
Although, does it count as a view anytime you reload the web page? Because I did that.
It was probably both you.
Wait, could I do it to bump up our viewership a lot?
I saw there's one website that's kind of like Stumble Upon, but it's YouTube videos that have 0 views, and it just gives you a random one that has 0 views.
Oh,
We need to be on it.
We don't even get to be on it anymore.
I know.
You ruined that.
we did.
No, it's good. No, trust me, it's way easier to watch them on YouTube than it is on Twitch. Personally, this is really good barbecue sauce.
So full.
How fast?
What?
My God, where'd it go?
In my mouth.
Into the umbilical cord of my baby.
She's eating for 2.
She did not like that. Nobody liked that.
no one liked that.
Sorry, Murphy.
But Brad, while you're up, could you turn this into marble turkey?
Turn this air into water.
God.
That's too many plates.
Complete the transmutation spell.
See?
No,
Did
the
you guys know
create
that there's
water
a circus
spell.
in town?
But there's what?
A circus in town for the weekend?
Is it the creepy one that pops up that's like
Oh.
taped together over by
Like
King's
Bankston's and
Landing?
everything. Yeah.
Can you
No,
put
it's
this in the
Oh.
bag?
it's called
I know what all can do.
Paranormal Cirque.
Oh.
It's like Cirque du Soleil, but like bloody and murderous.
I think
What?
I heard about that.
I
Doesn't
was
seem like
driving.
the best
I
time
was
for it.
driving down MLK, and to the right of me was like a black and red like big top, and I was like, "What is that?"
Hmm.
Apparently, there's like a water circus coming in March or something.
What?
I don't know. It's like Circus Italia or something like that.
Has anyone eaten at the new Jamaican place?
Yeah, we have.
How was it?
Um,
Okay.
It was good.
I liked
You
it.
guys always
I
have
liked
lunch
it.
without
I did.
me.
I thought that the portions were a little bit missized
I sit in my office alone
for the price.
constantly when I'm not in class.
One of my coworkers mentioned it that he wanted to go, and then I looked it up.
It's worth trying. It's fun.
I think they're still figuring out some kinks, but
Yeah.
they're not big kinks.
No, it was really nice,
Oh, yeah,
and
the water.
the owner was super cool.
Oh, and he makes like this hot sauce that you really like.
Yeah, I did. He makes like a special pickle sauce, and it's
Now we're
weird.
sponsored by them.
True Jamaican.
Which we can't tell you where it is because then you'll know which.
Everyone already knows.
Stop watching us Twitch.
Stop watching us.
Put 2 and 2 together.
No, Stephanie, stop giving them hints.
They're not dumb.
They being us.
We know where we live. Will.
I think I may
I
take.
forget my zip code a lot.
I think I may take a short trip to New York City this weekend.
Why would you say that?
Oh dang it!
Oh
Oops,
no!
Now
Come
they know.
on.
Oh my bad.
Man.
Although I'm sure I mentioned leaving the house unlocked already, so
So any criminals watching us?
we have no valuables though. That's why we
They
play
can take
games.
We're all very poor.
Yes.
That's why we play games.
With a
To live out our
GoPro and an
fantasy
iPhone.
That's just Will.
Be silent.
Yeah, then it's just.
I live as a pauper.
Because you have a GoPro.
Did
The
we want
rest
more
of us
fries?
are broke.
I mean.
I mean, there's still like half a tray of the tots, and there's still some fries.
What's gone?
Hmm?
What?
I think it's good. I think we're good, Jonathan.
Yeah,
Have
we
you been to the new phone place?
What?
Have we been to the new phone place?
Mm-mm. I want to go.
I heard
I got
no problem.
just like a sandwich from them, not like.
Was
the-
it good?
Yeah, because they have
Was it
so they
banh mi?
have lemongrass pork one, which is
Oh.
the banh mi that we usually get from other places.
Mhm.
But they have like another sandwich that has like the traditional like Vietnamese cold cuts in it, which is like the stuff that I grew up with.
I'm into it.
And it was on their appetizers menu, so it was like super cheap.
I'm into it. No, I want that. I really want to go. It's right next to where I get my haircut.
My coworker didn't like the pho.
Oh, yeah?
It
What's
wasn't
it called?
worth
Pho,
the
And more or something.
pho,
Yeah.
etc.
yeah.
But yeah.
I said it just wasn't worth like it was too much for the money. So
Interesting.
it wasn't too special.
I mean,
Do you go to sports clubs?
yeah, I do. That's where I get my haircut. Melissa is my girl.
Sponsored by Sports
Mine
Clips.
is like,
Well, the fact that it doesn't show up when I look at when I'm googling it,
Oh, if you Google map it, it says it's permanently closed.
What is?
it's just coming up.
Emily.
Oh, I've had her.
Um,
I never go to the same one twice.
It's a new Vietnamese
I
restaurant.
usually do the different sports clips, so then I get the MVP
Permanently
at each different
closed.
store.
For what?
If you're new to
Oh.
the
But
store,
they've only been open for like 3
I've been
weeks.
to like all
Yeah.
the different
I want that.
sports clips in Waco.
3.5 stars.
Oh, I get. Yeah, that's
Get
fair.
rid
Yeah,
of the
but now,
fries.
yeah, I really liked her, so she's like, you have to come back. So I told her
Murphy
that
gets a fried
I was pregnant, and that
Murphy can have a
we don't know the gender, and so she's like, you have to come back. I have to know.
That bowl stuff looks good.
And then yeah, so
Yeah, Melissa and I
It's
get
like a
along.
bowl with a
She's
bowl
like one of the
meats.
managers, I think, at the one in next to Academy. I like to go to her. She always does a really good job, and it only takes her like 5 minutes. And she like doesn't talk to me if I don't like say anything.
My favorite kind of haircut.
So like,
Emily,
I'm about that.
she talks a lot. I'm okay.
I don't mind. I don't mind it when
You're
when
chatty though. You're a chatty guy. You like to chat with
If
people.
it takes longer, I can watch more sports.
That's fair. See, I don't care about that. I was like, and it was really crowded, so I was like, okay, get me in, get me out, please, 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 please. And then she did it. I didn't even ask her. She just did it. It was amazing.
I love how you can just sign in online.
Great.
I feel bad though sometimes.
Sponsored by Sports Clips.
I feel bad when there's like a big line and I just go and come in and I'm next up.
Don't feel bad.
Live your
Because
best
you were
life.
smart.
Yeah, don't feel bad for being smarter than all the noobs. That's a Twitch term. Noobs. Right?
In like
Bet.
2007.
No, you spell it with zeros now.
You always did.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's elite spelling.
You don't do either. You don't do any of that.
There's a reason I don't play online. It's because they're also judgmental. Hateful. Anyway, don't mind me while I eat these malted knuckles.
Mint or cinnamon?
What?
Mint or cinnamon?
Or chocolate. What do you taste?
They're not supposed to be either of those things. We've tasted both.
I get a little hint of mint, yeah.
That's because she
It's
said
like
it.
it's like a mint.
You didn't
star
taste.
tasted
You didn't
mint.
taste it
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, the cinnamon comes in at the end.
Are we exchanging gifts?
No, she wanted socks.
I'm ready for mine.
I left my socks in the car. Do you want to wear these?
No. I hate socks. I'll take my present.
It's only
Do you
socks.
mind?
Socks.
I want them. Not those ones,
No.
but I want the other pair.
If I'm
The other
the
pair?
lady,
I assume there's another pair.
the person on Parks and Rec, the gimme,
Yeah, oh
gimme,
god, yeah.
Tom?
gimme. No, the the daughter of the Tom's friend.
Tom's friend's twin sister.
Yeah.
Oh, Dom Raffio and
Yeah.
what's her face?
Oh yeah.
Gimme.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about now.
We were thinking of names because Caleb and our boss they want to do the office trivia, so they were thinking of names.
Is gimme one of them?
No, Mouse Rat was. Just because it's like
Mouse
not
Rat.
the office, but
It's office adjacent. Okay, should we play now or?
I guess.
not?
Toby. Wait,
Toby Treacle Tart?
Stranglers or something like that.
Oh.
Like Stranglers.
Alright. So,
When is the office? When is this?
like next week, I think.
Weekend.
22nd,
The
I
22nd,
think.
yeah.
Isn't that next week?
That's next Saturday.
Yeah.
It's
I
the
think so.
14th.
Oh my god.
Okay, February is like the fastest month ever.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend texted me the other day and was like, "Are you ready to come to Mardi Gras in next week?" And I was like, "Next week? It's next week?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's next week." And then I looked and it was next Friday. So I mean, admittedly, this was Monday, so it was 14 days away. But like, also,
It's not next week, it's in 2 weeks.
nope.
Is that like on the
Well,
calendar?
okay,
on
yeah,
the
well, the
calendar?
day, but like going
Oh.
to New Orleans, you go
Okay.
on Friday.
Okay, I'm like.
And
that's-
Joe has
that's
totally
when I
forgotten
have
that I will be
the
gone.
work thing.
Well, then
Like,
we can't do
Thursday,
New Year's
Friday.
because
Schedule
Will's
you?
gonna be gone for Mardi Gras.
What?
You're
Oh.
gone next week for Dandy.
Yes. We could do it on
Friday.
Thursday. I should be here. I'm not going to be around on Friday.
We can do Thursday. Okay.
Yes.
8/18. Let's do D&D.
All right.
It's good because Thursday we have to clean anyway because the people are coming to look at our house.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you guys aren't, we can do it here. I'll just volunteer Jonathan.
No, I mean our house will be clean. What I'm saying.
No, it's good if we need to do it here at work. I'm good there too.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you guys never talked to anybody in Burrowton about what you were actually doing there apart from the bard, right? But actually, you didn't even talk to him about
I think
what you were
Stephanie
doing.
has to do another recap. It's been so long.
Stephanie,
Connor,
what?
no,
Connor.
Could you remind us what happened?
Get off.
I don't think we talked to
Connor.
Connor.
No, we haven't asked anyone about the specifics.
Wait, have we made it to Burrowton yet?
No, the snake.
Yeah,
Right
that's
there.
where we've been.
But like, does the market count as Burrowton?
Yeah.
Oh.
Burrowton is where
It,
you
like,
are right now.
It like spills out too, right? Like,
Yeah, it like comes out. It comes out a little bit into the
Burrowton is
city.
life.
But yeah, so you guys are still kind of in the farmers market area along this main lane.
See, you said farmer's market.
well,
And
you
then
there
I got
are
overcharged for paper,
There-
and that means it's an artisan's market.
there are artisans at farmers market, Stephanie. You
Artisanal
should know
cheese.
this. We've been to the farmers market enough times here that you should know better than to go up to a fucking paper salesman at a farmer's market and be like, "I would love a sheaf of your finest paper, please."
I didn't say
That's
finest paper.
Lindsay, that's
They only have their
Right.
finest paper.
That's their fault for not having crap paper that I can
Gonna
go
ask, where
out.
did-
It's your fault for not asking Jared if he had any paper.
Why would we ask
I don't
that?
want Jared's
Because
paper.
he's literally a secretary. There were like, I listened to it last
was
week,
cool.
and there were at
Does he
least
wanna
3 or
hang
4
on
instances
music?
where I was like, Jared's just taking notes. I listened to it today.
I don't want his cheap wide rule paper.
Fucking what?
Yeah.
What? Oh, that's nice.
He's a snake.
Oh, that's a snack bar.
Snake bank.
He won't fall off.
So yeah, so you guys are like walking through the this market area. The bard told you that
Or at least Yizzik is.
Yizzik is walking through alone. The bard that you guys talked to last time told you that a woman was asked for hush money and she ran away, screaming about needing help, and that's what caused the fairies to scream that they needed help.
Oh yeah.
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 And what caused Kimber to almost murder a guy
That's true for
Came
no
pretty
reason.
close.
for selling food?
Oh, for a reason.
For selling.
Yeah.
For selling a perfectly
How
legitimate and like
It was
established
good
food in the city.
If it was sentient, that was the key.
It's
It was good food, but it would have tasted better with hot sauce.
Are you a vegetarian?
She doesn't eat. Yeah, why not?
It's like, no.
Do you think like
I'm an
cows
Aeritarian.
and pigs are sentient?
No.
So they have to.
Do you think parrots are sentient? Because they can
No.
talk.
What about dolphins?
Dolphins? Yeah.
Dolphins
everyone knows
are
that they
sentient.
What about crows?
Ooh.
Crows are too.
Okay.
Kimber knows all about this.
Ravens.
She'd never seen a
She's
fairy
read a lot
before,
of
but
books.
she knows a lot.
So yeah, so you guys are like walking through the city. Other people are like shouting out for your wares.
That's an expert right
I
there.
mean, and there's like lots of people on the streets. You see mostly gnomes, halflings, and some dwarves.
Except apparently me, who has a +4.
Oh.
For what?
Nature.
Oh. So are you guys just gonna keep walking down? So like I said last time, the lane is sort of gently sloping and like curving down.
Oh, there's a tipped over cart. Let's investigate.
No. No cart. I
It's
mean,
an
there can be a
upright
cart in the middle, but like.
Let's go take the cart.
But yeah, so you guys see all these shops, and there's like lots
If
of
it's
stuff.
a going down cart, would it need to be pulled, or would it just gently roll?
It would have
You
to
could
be
roll.
pulled
You could
up.
roll.
It's a bulk cart
Okay.
driven by a snake.
Okay.
Is it the mobile library?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the little library of.
So you guys are stuck behind this cart.
Oh.
Yeah, there's NPCs around. So are you guys gonna talk to anybody, ask anybody questions before you go down to the next lane?
Well, now I'm interested in this book cart.
I mean,
Brad, take the book cart away. There's no fucking book cart.
there's a snake.
Yeah, I see that.
He's a cousin of Snake.
The snake
Banks
The
does.
snake bank is like, go master. I see a fellow serpent. We should investigate.
I'm not taking the horse.
I wasn't going to ask you to take the horse. Take the cart. The snake is defenseless.
He's not interested in this guy.
No. I think that, okay, fine. Since you guys want to have a fucking cart and a fucking snake driving said cart, you know what, Brad? Make a wisdom saving throw.
Secret Yuan-Ti battle.
And the snake says, take the cart.
26.
Fuck. Fine. You feel a sudden and sort of insistent pressure in the back of your brain that maybe you should take the cart. And the snake is just whispering, take the cart.
I'll talk to the other snake.
Alright. What do you say to him?
Is this your cart?
Why, yes, this is my cart. Where are you asking? And he sort of is like whipping
What
the
kind of
horse with
snake
his
is
tail.
he?
Oh, he's an awakened snake.
No, but like, with that kind of accent, what kind of snake is he?
Oh,
A hog-nosed snake.
a king snake. A Texas king snake.
You have a mighty
That's what I
fine
wanted
cart.
to know. Thank you, ma'am.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You have a mighty fine necklace.
Thank you. Is that books you're carrying?
Well, yes, of course. We're taking them down to the artificery district, right down the hall. Right down the way, I mean, not the hall. It's not a hallway. That was silly of me, wasn't it?
It's not a hallway.
Can I buy your cart from you?
It's full of books. I'm about to make a profit myself. You'd have to offer a pretty fine sum to just buy it off me.
So those books are valuable?
Well, of course they are. The snake around your neck says, take the books. Take them. Take them all.
Do you have any more in the Lusty Sword series?
The what now? These are textbooks, my dear.
How do you make money off of textbooks?
Oh, textbooks.
Let me tell you something. The textbook industry is quite literally a racket.
No.
Those students pay for books, and they are very expensive, and really it only costs a fraction of their cost to print them.
Huh.
It's true.
And who would have thought that math was so expensive? Certainly not me, a gentle snake.
I hand him a flyer.
He'll like sort of like try and grab it with his tail and be like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not able to grab that.
I grabbed it and put it in a book.
It's like, please don't touch the merchandise. You haven't bought this cart yet. Did you want to make an offer? It'll have to be a pretty tiny sum. And the snake is like, take the books, take the books, take the books, take the books, take the books.
I nudged Kimber and I said, maybe you can trade.
Trade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What would I
you should
trade?
check to see if Kimber wants to trade. Wait, let me see what I wrote.
What's a Kimber?
That's me.
Oh, you are a Kimber.
Yes.
Is that your model number or your designation?
That's rude. That's my name.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
What's your name? Snake?
Bartholomew.
See? Exactly.
I fought off the urge to steal.
Your
a book.
name is Bartholomew. My name is Kimber.
I rolled to see if I wanted to steal a book when he wasn't looking, and I rolled 23.
Yeah, okay, fine. Alright, yeah.
Roll sleight of hand.
No, he fought it off.
Fought it.
But that pressure is still in the back of your head. You feel it.
I want
This
to
time.
ask if they have any
I give the snake another
books
platinum.
about the
He eats
religious
it.
sect
That
or
is
like
a
the
good,
history of the city.
a good on-topic
Well,
question.
most of these are engineering type textbooks full of math and arcane symbols. But you know that you have a look back there. If there is one, it'll be in the back pile.
You told me I couldn't touch them.
Well, you
And this
seem
person
shifty.
can?
I don't trust the look of that jewelry around your neck, though. It does look very nice. It looks like my mother, actually.
Is there anyone
I
shady
think
around?
you don't
It's
like lizard folk,
it's a
and you like
15
dragon
for
forms better.
investigation.
Do what?
It's a 15 for investigation.
Yeah, you probably see
What are you
a
talking
slim
about?
volume
It's a snake
entitled,
Or like weird history of the city.
or like
Lizards on
current.
snake.
It would be like current sex in power or something like that, and there would
Oh.
be like.
Kimber's ears perk up.
That's sex.
That is
Current sex
That doesn't
and
mean I'm
power?
No,
What?
he doesn't say that. She's just reading the backs of the spines, and so it's a real thin book, and you think it's probably a book about like the 10 most prominent sex. I'll say with a 15, you probably there's probably like a publication date on it, and it's dated like 2 years ago, so it's pretty recent.
Okay.
I have a 24 to perceive and a 25 to investigate shady people in the area.
Everybody's just kind of walking by. They're a little bit frustrated that there seems to be a cart. It's sort of a
That's shady guy right there.
Nobody eye-catching.
yeah.
What's in there?
You know, you were the one that saw the black shape out of the corner of your eye last time, right?
Yeah, up on like the roof.
You see something similar.
How much would this
From
book
which
cost?
direction?
He's like way over there on that building.
Okay.
There's like, it's just like a flash of black. So this area of Burriton is still pretty well lit. So like when there's shadows that are out of place, it's pretty obvious because there's not really any shadow during the day.
Okay.
Somewhere over here.
It's on the building back here. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh.
But like you don't see it for more than like a couple of milliseconds. It's like there, and as soon as your like eye like fully goes over it, you see it like out of the corner of your eye. And as soon as you like turn your head, it's like gone.
How much
Well,
would
that's-
this book cost?
Kimber, if she sees anything over that way.
Which book is that? And you'll see he like coils up and like turns around
Not this like the little volume.
the little volume. He'll be like, well, I don't know. That one was specifically requested. They said they'd give me about 10 gold for it. Would you take 15? I'd take
I can
15.
give you 12.
12?
Yeah, I have my total number, and then I have 12, 2, and 50 written down in different spots, and so giving him 12 gold would be nice and convenient for him.
Make a persuasion check. Let's see how.
He's not a dwarf, so that's a 9. 8.
I was gonna give it to you if you rolled 10, Sarah.
If you
How about 13? I'll do 13. I'll come down for you. I'll be nice.
You could do some of that dwarven borrowing and add in your 2 gold to go for a 14.
It's true. Yeah, I'll give him 14 gold. don't know
All
that
right.
Arvinder's all. Well, Arvindr like is more of a caravan guard. I don't know if that is that great.
All right.
Yeah.
He'll say that book was worth a 40% profit. I love that. How good for me.
The dwarf who sold me my clothes also gave
Now I'm
me
in a much
weird
better mood.
discount.
She asked if I
So-
saw this, and I rolled a 19. No. No.
What did Snake Bank feel about that deal?
You'll hear it. Actually, in this case, I think you'll like feel its tongue like in your ear. The necklace itself hasn't moved, but like it's like you know that like yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's like he'll be like now the snake has gold. Take it from him, Yizzik. Take it, and then take the cart.
What does your face look like? Is it? Are you reacting?
There's too many people. I'm not doing it.
What'd you roll?
20.
Fine. Wait, how'd you get advantage on it?
I felt since I've been doing the other ones. This is more like my method.
Is it?
I mean, if it's not, he needs to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been telling you, you've been
Yeah.
feeling it in the back of your head. It's not like a gentle sort of pressure. It's more like a insistent, like, oh wow, I really should take this. You're right, Snake. You're totally right. Maybe I should just get in the cart and ride off.
I mean, the other two
Can I-
were above 20.
Would
so.
I perceive
I know.
anything if
That's
I rolled
why
a
you-
15?
I know.
That about is it being weird?
No, I don't think so. It's all internal. I mean, like, so I don't know if, Yizzik, you would be the one to decide whether or not any of this is showing on your face. But I
just
do feel like
whispering like
that,
this.
I feel like the dice are telling the story that like your resolve is kind of waning because your rolls have been getting lower. And maybe that will change, but
Yeah.
I think the longer you stay around this snake who's like talking a lot about his like profitability, the harder it's going to be for you to ignore the snake around your necks.
Yeah, all wisdom saving throws I get +7. So,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
but I get +3 because it's my aura.
Yeah, so you get a +10. So I think that
No, that's counting the plus. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
+4.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so the snake will have sold Sarah that book, and he'll kind of just be like, "Well, it's been a lovely pleasure talking to all y'all. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go down. Y'all can hitch a ride if you want.
Where
I mean,
you
I'm just
headed?
going right down the street," and he'll like kind of gesture with his tail, and it's like he like points at like around the corner, sort of.
Like this way?
Yeah. So like the way that the lane kind of looks is gonna be like.
I hop in the cart.
No, he'll be like, "No, I would rather y'all not ride in the cart itself because I can't see back there while I'm driving.
We
but
all can't fit up there.
there's plenty of room on the bench right next to me because you'll notice that I'm just a little snake. I don't take up much room, and there's only 5 or 6 of y'all, so 2, 3 of y'all can ride on the back.
I am riding in the back.
No, on the back, on the bumper, not in the back.
I get on and the wheels like push down into the ground.
That's fair. All right.
How long have you been selling books, Bartholomew?
Oh
Have you
well.
always been in the book business?
You know, that's an interesting question. I wasn't awakened up until about I was blessed and I was awakened by our goddess Melora of nature. First one that came to mind, Stephanie. And you know, because I had been such a good snake, I had been doing my job, you know, eating all the other snakes and eating birds if they got in my way, and you know, eating bugs and that sort of thing. So I had been doing such a good job. Oh, I'm sorry, Connor.
Get down.
Or Murphy, you're Murphy. That you know, she awakened me, and I just needed a job because once you're awakened, you can't eat the inanimate objects and things like that anymore. It made me feel bad to be eating a whole bunch of eggs and birds and all the other things. I'm a vegetarian now, proud to admit that to you.
How do you feel about pixies?
Oh, well, they don't count. They're bugs.
Fairies or whatever.
I've just
they are.
recently learned this.
Did Melora give you a charge, or was it just a reward?
Well, no, Melora's kind of wild. You know how she is. She just kind of does whatever the hell she wants. She can't help herself.
Do you remember anything
I've
about
read
your
that
life
before.
I remember everything.
I don't.
I mean, well, that sounds very sad.
It is.
Did you have a big
Maybe you
family?
can talk to someone in the artificering district. We're about to get there. They're the ones that make all of your kind before. I've never met one as smart as you though.
You're smart.
I'll take it.
Okay, so like I'm just gonna draw this real quick for you guys as you're
Yeah.
like riding down the cart because
I'm
the
gonna tell
hairpin.
them slip one book in the bag of holding.
Okay, make a sleight of hand.
15.
Yeah, okay. You can do it. Okay, so basically what this looks
Where are
like,
you sitting relative to?
I assume he's sitting on the back bumper.
He's a 10.
I'm probably busy reading my book.
Yeah. And I'll see what information you can glean out of that over the break, and I'll message it to you. So basically what this looks like is like if you were hiking, say.
Like a switchback.
Switchbacks.
Yeah, exactly. And so
Did you just draw the fold axis?
yes. I did.
Okay.
So this is like going
Draw the arrow.
that's down, and then this is up. So yeah, so this is going down, and like as you round this kind of bend, he's kind of whipping the horse with his tail. I'm like, go on, get it. The horse will start going down.
Does it make you feel bad that you're whipping your horse?
Well, none of that's his job. He's been trained. You know, it's different. He's not alive. He's not awakened. Alive in the same way as I am. All of us are Melora's creatures. We're all alive in our own special way. But he doesn't think, like we do.
That's fair.
I don't mean anything by it. I'm being gentle. There's a reason. I don't have hands. I can't be too rough with him. It will hurt me as much as it would hurt him, I'm afraid, if I was actually cracking him with my tail.
That's true. I can see that.
All right,
You
so...
are so fascinating with all of you.
Well, it's amazing that I have only existed in this current form for 10 seconds. But, before that, I existed as a normal snake.
Bartholomew, do you want to join us in our travels? We have.
No, I don't think so. I have a very profitable business and a lovely wife.
I think
How many
we can be
children?
profitable.
No children. She's an elf. That will be difficult, don't you think?
You should have chosen a dragon.
But we have a very comfortable life together. It's true.
So she likes the
One of
hemi-penis.
you and
That's That is a very inappropriate question.
Why?
He's been reading about anatomy.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Dear, we don't normally talk about genitals
Peni.
in public.
He's learning about
Why?
what's appropriate.
All
Some
right.
things are private.
Very young.
So
Like
as
the
you guys
privates.
kind of
Yes.
round that switchback and it goes down, the lane sort of opens up and gets a little wider. And you guys pass under a sign that's sort of arched right here that says Art District.
See, here's where they should be selling the pretty expensive lavender paper.
You went to the pop-up shop.
Bartholomew says, now don't be fooled. It's a known practical joke when they call it the Art District. What this really is the Artificing District. And it's a little bit more on the business end of things than upstairs is. And you guys will see that rather than houses, which kind of have faded as you round that big switchback.
Tenement district.
And this is not to scale, just FYI. They're much bigger than how I'm going to be able to draw them.
Swamps and gators.
Because of the nature of this map. So just keep in mind that these are huge enormous. It's big,
Old houses.
flat,
Warehouses?
factories and warehouses that are carved directly out of the stone, and they're gigantic. And none of them have a couple of them have windows, but most of them just have one door at the center, and then carved into the stone above their thing will be they all have names.
Look what?
I'm about to tell you, they're in my book. I actually did think of this.
Can we label them? I'm gonna label.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
If there's a fire, this is bad.
So there's a few of them that like stand out. They're the largest, and a couple of them even are like ornamented on the outside, which is unusual in this area. Legions a la carte is one of the main ones.
Create your own army.
Right across the lane from them is the Aegis Forge. Then you've got Preferred Metallurgy.
They don't even try to have good names. They're just like very specific.
You've got the Sigma Factory.
Sigmar?
No, Sigma.
Sigma.
It's actually
So
like
close.
a big Greek letter S. Yes. Factory. A Mystic Science Collaborative is one of the buildings that you guys can see. And these are just the ones that are like, so like as you're going down, they're kind of like, it looks like if you like looked down the mountainside because of the way it's a switchback, like they're built into the side of the mountain like going down too. So these are like massive buildings. And then there's Siren Song, which doesn't have like any sort of like ornamentation or anything on it, but like
It's oddly alluring.
yeah.
Ah, mention sirens.
And it's actually one word. It's SY because it's a hoity-toity business, so they can't spell anything right. And it's like they're instrument manufacturer. They're like a magical instrument manufacturer.
One word, no space, 2 capitals.
Yeah, exactly. And so you guys like enter this district, and like I think that the first thing is that you would notice is first of all it's a little bit darker down here. So
Dark enough to fly.
yeah, probably. So like it's
Do you
definitely.
just take off?
You know I do.
And do you like press the car down? Like, boom.
Probably. Would do like the Superman takeoff.
Bartholomew
where
would be
he
like,
leaves
"What the hell was that?
Yeah.
Oh,
What the hell?" And he'll like look around and be like,
That's Iron Man.
It's
So-
okay,
Girl,
Bartholomew.
Iron
It's okay. She can fly in the dark. Is all.
"She can what?"
I should just be your mini. This is Iron Man.
Yeah.
He'll like look up and be like, "I
Hello.
don't see anything."
Hello, Bartholomew. I am
Can you
here.
see
What the
You
fuck?
say
5
You're
times
like
as loud.
infrared?
I do.
What?
Say it, boom.
Can you see like your infrared?
Well,
Like,
she's
signal?
doesn't have
Oh.
infrared.
I have
She's
no
metal.
heat.
She's
Yeah.
like, doesn't have body heat.
Wait, she can't. Can Bartholomew see like her dangling golden nipple or something?
No. She like I mean he's like a normal like garden variety snake. He doesn't have like great vision or anything.
He's a king snake.
He is, but he's like a normal garden variety king snake. He's just been awakened so he can talk and think.
Wait.
Do you want to fly with me, Bartholomew?
No, I think I'm good down here. I gotta drive this car. And so yeah, so you guys would notice that it's less well lit. It looks like people are like not because like
Bob,
upstairs
that's
is like
why.
where everybody lives. That's where like a lot of the mages that would like focus their energy on like making places comfortable to live are. You can assume that any like magic people that work down here are probably just working here, and then they would go upstairs for like their living space, and then that also their like magic would be concentrated inside these buildings.
He doesn't have good like distance vision.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
So it's not a darkness thing. I thought it was a darkness thing.
No, he just can't see things that are like more than 20 feet away.
I can keep yelling so that you know where I am.
I can hear you, but I guess thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, so also you can't fly super high up because there is like a cave ceiling above you.
You're hovering.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
And
do it.
so
Because of the frost forge.
no, because there's a cave ceiling above you. And so basically, yeah, you guys would like enter this area, and as you cross underneath the air quality changes. It smells like ozone, and like anybody that has any kind of experience with magic can like get magic on the air. It's like so thick down here that
Cast
like
detect magic.
you're blinded.
Ah!
It smells like metal, like working metal, like forges and iron.
Straight in the cart.
It smells kind of like home.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
for
that's
you,
what
for
I'm
you
thinking
it would
too.
probably, because this is like a lot of these are like dwarven owned and like gnome
like
operated.
Your
What
body
do I
odor?
hear?
Yeah, probably.
So I'd probably be familiar with some of these brands. Just
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say that Legions a la carte and Aegis Forge are very well known throughout the entire continent. So all of you have probably heard of them. Kimber, make a history check.
Oh, that's. I hear something.
11.
You feel like you've seen Legions a la carte before, but you don't know where or how.
Do they have a logo?
It's like a stylized L, and then like an upside down L, and then like a C between them. So it looks like a rectangle almost. So like L.
LLC?
Yeah. Legions a la carte LLC.
Oh, I remember.
Limited
that.
liability
It's down
company.
there.
Yeah.
So
You
all
might
of
have
you
that
could.
symbol on them anywhere.
If we were to look at Kimber, would we notice anything or anything about like the material that she's made of?
No, you guys wouldn't. You would. Okay. So like when I said that you recognized it, you're not sure that you recognize it in any sort of way that like people who live in the continent would recognize it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like you with the roll that low.
Yeah.
You
No,
don't have
okay.
like a specific sort of thing, and then you would also probably recognize Aegis Forge in the same way.
Okay.
Everybody else can make a history check about it too.
Ooh, that was a good die today. 21.
Okay.
12. I remember that place. The summer that father tried to make me play the harpsichord.
The siren song, yeah. You would recognize siren song and recognize its symbol from like the instruments that are common. Did you want to roll history? You would. You have as much reason as anybody.
I got a
to
5.
recognize it.
10.
You got a 5? Okay. So you recognize Legions a la carte. You recognize the symbol more than you recognize the name. You've heard of a whole lot of like hideous war crimes carried out by the Warforged that come out of Legions a la carte. And all of them have the symbol like branded into their like chest. So like people that have like experienced any sort of like being on the wrong end of the creatures that like come out of this building, like come away traumatized and scarred and like saying that like they'll never forget that like glowing symbol that's in the middle of their their chest. Kimber does not have one of those,
She has a nipple.
by the way. She
I
has
have a
has
one.
gold
a
nipple.
nipple.
She has one golden nipple.
Yes.
Alright, I
It's
have
canon.
a little silk handkerchief that I'm sort of.
Yeah. So, and like you would, I think that, yeah,
Watching.
like with a nat 20, you would probably like have met someone personally that like has had experience with this. Like, you know that they are, like, their name might sound cutesy and like sort of fun. Actually, you'd probably even know with a nat 20 that like their name is kind of new. Like, they changed their name from something a little bit more warlike about 20 years ago.
But the symbol was the same?
Yeah, the symbol has been the same, but like but they changed their name from like Legion's loyal and I don't know, caring or something like that. Not caring. What's a C word that's dead?
Cow.
That's
Conniving.
bad. Legion's
Cowabunga.
loyal and
Loyal legionnaires.
Coniferous.
Cooperated.
yeah,
Cooperating.
something like that. Yeah, it's like it was some very like hegemonic like
That is a coniferous.
creepy sort of name, and so they changed it to something more cutesy as like a rebrand effort, but like the symbol has stayed the same and the war crimes that they have like seen committed underneath them
Okay.
are also the same. Sarah, you would probably recognize the Legion a la carte symbol with a 10 as people that like maybe your like dwarven city has dealt with in the past, like probably not like on a personal level like Lady Peregrine has, but like certainly on like a second or third hand basis, you probably wouldn't have heard us so much about like how terrible the things that they've done are, but probably more like about how expensive and like well crafted the clockwork soldiers that they create
Do
are.
they ever go rogue?
Make a history check.
Hypothetically? Because this could relate back to like how my original village
It rolls
was
20s
like
or ones.
decimated.
What'd you get?
16.
You go.
So yeah, I'd say that like in the time, like what you have heard about them is not that they go rogue so much as you've heard about how rare it is that they go rogue. You can make, well, I don't want to push too far, but like, yeah, I'd say that you probably have heard that they are.
I mean, I'm sure if this is like who would have hypothetically just like killed my whole family and
Yeah.
all of my people, like I wouldn't remember that
No.
necessarily.
No, but I think that you probably have heard of.
Like in terms of what I would know from being, yeah, the dwarves would just be,
Yeah.
these are very expensive.
They're very expensive.
They're
They're
very
well
reliable.
they're well constructed, and they don't go rogue very often. Like it's a rarity, but it has happened. But I feel like with like the fact that you like come from a dwarven culture, they probably like understand that like when you're imbuing life into anything, like there's always a chance that like it will develop sentience because magic is so unpredictable. So I don't feel like it would be something that would like stand out to you,
No.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What do I see as I look through their top windows?
So like if you're just like flying up to like the exterior facing windows,
Yeah.
you like look in and there is just a giant
way.
fucking white waiting room with like 10 chairs like spaced super far out on the inside. Like you can't see in past.
Yeah.
It's almost like
It's
like
just
a
like a
comic
room.
book sort of thing. Like the waiting room is absurd.
Okay.
So like there's one door, like one person could fit through the door at a
That's-
time, and then like the interior, the ceilings are like 80 feet tall. It's painted like bone white. There's chairs like 10 feet apart, and there's like 14 or 15 chairs on either side, and then there's like one desk with one clockwork woman sitting at it. She's not a warforged like you, so she's got like, you would assume that she's probably less suited for like combat. She's more about like doing specific tasks, but she's like the receptionist, essentially.
Hey, I recognize that place.
Mystic Science?
They make really good glassware for our alchemy class.
That's true.
Glass?
They're famous for their
Yeah.
potions. They make potions and like potionware.
Are they basically like VWR?
Yeah. Actually.
That's what I figured.
Improper packaging.
Yep. So yeah. You guys can also make a history check about Aegis Forge too, since they're the two like the buildings themselves are the most decorated.
19.
Okay, so you know a bit more about them.
14.
0.
So
Snake's really messing with me.
Aegis Forge, Sarah, I think you're the only one that would know anything about them specifically, just by virtue of your dwarven background. They're a newer company than Legions a la carte, and they're more famous for. They're also well known for making like soldiers, like on demand soldiers, but they're more famous for their defensive soldiers than they are their attacking soldiers. So Legions a la carte is like well known for their like essentially like cavalry type things and like chargers and things that are meant to do a lot of damage, which is why they're so well known for like horror and tragedy. The Aegis Forge people are like a direct competitor that
They're like
In
a
the
shield
middle.
wall.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's
Their whole thing is they build warforges that are specifically designed to like be defensive rather than offensive.
How dare
Is
they.
this the secret commercial side of Ulad's business?
No.
Yeah.
No, there is no commercial side to Ulad's business. Are you kidding? No.
I mean, I thought I'd ask.
It's not. So yeah, Bartholomew will be like, he'll kind of pull off into the Sigma factory and be like, well, this is my stop. I just had to go right here. I gotta drop off these books now. Y'all take care. And he'll just sit there and wait for everybody
Thanks
to
for the
disembark.
ride.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Bartholomew.
Alright, take me out of the cart.
He'll like put his tail up and like, I don't see.
You're welcome.
I consider you a true friend.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. I'll
Kind of
let
a
Melora
Trusha.
know if I ever get to talk to her
Trusha.
again that you deserve care.
So before I leave, I'd like to ask him whether he knows anything about, like, protection in this part.
The marbles.
Like who do you go for or go to if you need protection in this part of the city?
I think that you don't even need to make a check about that. Like, you can see the confusion on the snake's face. Like, he is so confused that he literally is a snake, and you can see how confused he is. Like, he's like, protection? I don't know what you're talking about. Literally, these places make soldiers, and there's like a ton of mages around. I don't know what you'd want protection for in this place anyway.
Don't you worry about someone stealing your books and things?
Well, of course not. If they did, then they would get in trouble.
Well, who would they get in trouble with? Who's the authority down here?
Well, the first flame sect, they're the ones that send all the patrols around.
Well, we have Jerusha. I don't know that he could protect anyone.
Well, that looks like a scribe. He doesn't look very dangerous. He's not like one of their paladins that they've
He's a
got
level
walking
5.
around.
That's true. Have you seen any of those around today? Do they have a headquarters somewhere?
Well, you never see them. They're just there. He'll be like, you didn't know that? They're famous for it. That's
None
one of
of
the
us
ways.
are from around here.
Oh, well, that's one of the ways that the first flame sect got elected in this place.
Is by being invisible.
Is by being so good at protecting everybody that you
cast
don't
the
even know that they're
invisibility.
there.
I cast the invisibility.
You don't see anyone.
He said something about invisibility.
They're so subtle and so good at doing their jobs that we don't even need to see them as a presence. It's been great.
Well, thank you for the ride. I'll give him a piece of gold.
Oh, he'll take it in his mouth and be like, "Arr!" And like go and put it on the seat next to him and be like, this is as much gold as I've made in
10 minutes at least.
yeah, like 5 minutes, because your friend over there paid me.
Did you forget about that?
Good save.
No.
I mean, he is a snake.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like he has like a pouch.
Like on, yeah, he's
He's
dressed
like a
like the
little
snake
apron.
he is dressed like the snake from Robin Hood. He's got a little cape around his neck, and a little pouch, and a little belt, and a little
Yes.
hat.
I love it.
Does his little hat have a little feather?
Yeah, of
Better,
course.
of course,
Oh.
yeah.
It's a little Robin Hood hat.
Yes.
He's a very.
But yeah, so he'll like kind of like whip the horse and like jerk the reins with his head as best he can and like pull it jerkily into, well no, he'll pull around the back of Sigma Factory to go drop off all the books.
Bye, Bartholomew.
We hope to see you again.
Thanks for the ride.
I appreciate y'all. Goodbye. It's been a pleasure.
How much is that
So-
book worth?
What?
How much
The
is it
book that he stole.
That book that you stole?
Wait, what is it about?
It's worth your lawful alignment.
What's the book about?
I'm neutral good.
I don't even remember. Roll a d20.
Engineering.
Yeah.
It's the 6th Harry Otter book.
It's an
What about
engineering
bridges?
textbook. You think you could probably get 30 gold from it for the right buyer? But wait, how did you know that? Yizzik wouldn't know that.
What?
Make an insight check.
About how much the book's worth?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably go to a place and try to sell it
Yeah.
eventually.
No, but you know it just by looking at it. That's weird.
15?
Yeah. How'd you know that? That's so strange. It's almost like you've
have,
got
You
someone
know
telling
the
you.
cost
You
of
must
everything.
have bought an
Yeah.
engineering text in your past life.
Yeah. That's the plus side of the snake bank. I know what things are worth.
Well, maybe. But yeah, that's so weird.
I look at Kimber and like.
Kimber's worth
Pick her up.
I
She-
cover my golden nipple.
she being not an object, it has an infinite value
That's
in your eyes.
debatable.
Were you trying to be sneaky from us,
But
stealing the book?
yeah, because I'm still.
Okay, so we wouldn't have necessarily seen you either.
But you only rolled like a 15 to do it.
Yeah, but everyone was talking. And it's just
I
like
mean, I wasn't
Yeah, it was.
I had the
particularly.
bag of holding right next to me. And
That's fair. That's fair.
That was in
All
the
right.
front.
Yeah. So you think that that's a little strange?
getting smarter.
My brain is good.
Just being around these books.
I've osmosized knowledge from them.
Look at books more often.
Yeah, so-
you have any extra books?
I do have books.
So you guys are like now kind
Borrow
of
one?
halfway
No,
down
she knows. She's
into
got
the
more.
artificery district.
Can I borrow a
um,
book?
How many books on me?
Yeah, I
It
think we
doesn't
left
look
them all.
like there's
I've
like
just got the
a
one
lot
with me
of
right
Do you
now.
want a piece of lavender paper?
Yes, please.
stuff to do. Like the people have kind of thinned out
How
around
much is
here.
this piece of lavender paper worth?
1 copper.
No, it's like
How many-
Artisan paper.
How many pieces
It's
of
worth
paper?
more than a
it's
copper.
a silver. It's a silver.
Thank
Hmm.
How many pieces of paper are in a sheet?
Yeah, how many pieces of paper did I buy?
50.
Okay.
So how much did you spend on
I forget. It was like
12 gold.
gold. Yeah.
And it was 1 silver for a piece, so 50 silver worth of paper.
You got joked.
Come on, making a profit.
So mad. Wait, so how many pieces of paper did I buy?
You
50.
have 49.
You have 49
You have 49
now. Yeah,
now.
because you gave one to
Oh.
Yizzik.
It's fine. I like, yeah.
So yeah, so you guys are kind of like looking around. Do you want to make some more checks to see if you know anything else? You can if you want.
I'm probably going to avoid this place. I feel like maybe Murrin told me about it.
Yeah,
That he
it's like
had an experience
It's
with
well
them,
known.
and that's why
it's
he
like
sort of has lacked
the
towards
places
stuff.
that use legions a la carte, like the people that would buy their soldiers, are the kinds of places and people that like are willing to do whatever it takes to like hold on to whatever scraps of power they're able to cobble together.
I feel like we should go in here.
I don't know that that's the best idea, dear.
Why?
They're not the nicest kind of robots.
I have a weird inclination.
Make another history check when you say that. Damn.
10.
Yeah, so you probably, I don't know, you still feel like something maybe is sort of drawing you there,
Mm-hmm.
but no memories are sparked.
Yeah.
Well, I think if
I think we should just continue
Do you have a
going down.
factory reset button on you?
I have no idea.
I
Is-
mean,
She don't.
if
Do
Kimber
not-
has a feeling, maybe we
Do
should
not
check it out.
press.
Do not press.
They're not the sort of people that you tend to socialize with.
I wasn't gonna socialize.
Well, what would you like to do?
I want answers.
About what?
I don't know.
What are your questions?
Is this
I
about
don't
the
know.
fairies?
Something about this is drawing me in.
Yeah, something about this is saying we should just keep going.
I think we should keep going.
Are you like looking around, Kimber? 'Cause
Yeah, oh
you
yeah.
could-
I'm like flying back and forth, looking through all the windows and
So
stuff
you're
like
shouting these things
You
at
could-
us.
that. Yeah.
You
Are
could
you
make another history check to look at the Aegis Forge too.
Okay.
And she's describing it to us too, so we know.
I'm not sure. Are you?
Oh, I told them, yeah, like what I see. 10.
Yeah, so this one strangely you get more when you're looking in the windows to here. And amusingly it has a similar waiting room, but rather than being just bone white, this one is black and gold. All of the accents are black and gold. It looks like black marble.
Okay.
The other one was like white paint over like steel.
That's
Okay.
So
Is
it's,
there like a secretary type person inside too?
this one is actually a human. It's not a clockwork. So when you fly by here and you've made your history check, and you get the impression you have like this gut feeling in your stomach of competition. Competition. and like it's just as you're like kind of like flying by and like looking in the windows, something makes your like mechanical body sort of like tense up and like almost like I feel like your hand would almost even go for like your hammer or whatever weapon you're using.
Hammer.
Like you're like you like catch yourself like holding the handle and then like let it go.
You okay up there?
I think we should go in here.
Well, let's try the door, dear. Don't break it down.
I land superhero style.
Make a religion check.
To land?
Yes.
To land. 9.
All right.
It's not rolling well tonight.
You don't hear.
Switching dice.
You get nothing. So yeah,
Yeah.
you can try and go in if you want.
Would I or any of us have any sense about like what type of folk run these two businesses? Or are they like what sorts of races run them?
So it would be appropriate for you to surmise that it's probably a combination of dwarves, gnomes, and halflings,
Okay.
considering the location. But I think
Seems
because
like the kind of business that would be run by a dwarf, or at least by a gnome or a halfling.
yeah. So like the thing is though too, with your roll of a 20, with the nat 20 on your history check about legions a la carte specifically, I think that you would know that it's not one of those races who's like the person in charge of it.
Okay.
Like, I think that this is, you would probably even hazard a guess that like, you don't know who is in charge of it, but they want everybody to believe that it's a gnome, halfling, or dwarf who is running
It
it.
seems like a human thing. Humans are the ones that are so power hungry.
So then it would.
But you're not sure about Aegis Forge.
But my inclination there is that it might be kind of a dwarven thing, so it would be appropriate to see like if Arvindr knows anything.
Yeah, about the
I
Aegis
don't
Forge.
know anything really about this company except that I recognize it. But I feel like Arvindr might.
Well, that's a 12 on history.
So you aren't sure who runs Aegis Forge specifically, but you've heard more about who runs it than you have about Legions a la carte,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So like it seems like Aegis Forge is maybe a bit more open-handed and less sort of like subversive in many ways than Legions a la carte is. Like it probably is actually a dwarf who runs Aegis Forge.
It's a dwarven there.
Do you know anything about what they do, Arvindr?
Yes, they make soldiers of a more defensive variety. Good quality, expensive.
Yeah.
Can I go in here?
Yeah, I guess if you want. There's like one door and you can go in and look.
I'll go
Yizzik,
with
do you want to go in here?
I guess would.
Fine.
I don't know if he probably wouldn't have had any dealings with these
I
people.
don't think we would have necessarily had any dealings with them either.
Not like as a furniture person.
I don't think we would have shipped any of them, or we would,
Yeah.
because they would have shipped themselves.
Exactly. So like that's sort of the thing. Like with this kind of business, they're very self-contained because essentially they can just give orders to a legion of Warforged, and then the Warforged follow it. So like you can have them march somewhere with no leader and no one to watch them, and know that they'll make it on time, and like in the correct way and place.
Sound like beholders.
The summoned ones, maybe. So yeah. Well, Steph is. Oh, you're still here, Yizzik. So you guys go into the Mystic Science Collaborative, and in their waiting room, it's a bit like, I'm gonna go like with Apple Store vibes. They've sort of got like benches where they have like potions on display that are like magically welded, like the bottles are magically welded to a table. Yeah, like lit from underneath. It looks really, really fancy.
White and silver.
It's like white and silver. There's people wandering around wearing like brightly colored like tunics, and they're like, "Can we help you?"
Yeah, we're interested in what you guys have here. He really likes glass,
Yes.
and I'm curious about your
You're a
potion.
glass producer.
Oh well, we produce our own glass. We're very proud of it.
What is your finest piece of glass? Are they all equal?
It's probably, well, if you're just talking about the glass itself, this is like a young halfling woman,
What's her name?
Tiffany.
With an eye,
Mm-hmm.
with a little heart.
Yeah. She's like probably our most expensive piece of glass is, I'm gonna say the dragon forged bottle that comes around our most expensive luck potion. And she'll kind of like gesture, and like it's a bottle that's got like obviously like white dragon hide, like leather